Howdy all, I am Adam the Renaissance Nerd. I love real Star Wars. First generation fan, EU guy, franchise closest to my little nerd heart. I have been covering Disney Star Wars since I started this channel 4 years ago. And ever since I did, I have said one thing with consistency. Disney Star Wars is trash. It was trash, will be trash. Never gonna change. And it stems from the fact that the likes of Kathleen Kennedy, who betrayed George Lucas, took over and basically ushered in the era of Disney ideology. Now, she didn't actually make anything. I'm aware of that. She never made a goddamn thing, but she pushed the button. She said, okay, go ahead and do it, Dave Filoni. Go ahead and do it, Jon Favreau. Go ahead and do it, Leslie Headland, because you make me cry. And go ahead and do it, Tony Gilroy. And no, I'm not forgetting Jar Jar, but Jar Jar's been out of the picture so long, he's not really an issue anymore. The issue is Dave Filoni, Tony Gilroy, Jon Favreau, the people who have made stuff recently and are still making stuff because Mando Grogu comes out next summer, and you can watch all the pain I'll have to suffer surrounding that a year from now. Point being, Disney Star Wars has been in a bad place for over a decade, and it's not going to get any better because one of the stories that we've been covering forever is when will Kathleen Kennedy leave? I've always said she will leave when she's goddamn good and ready. No one will ever force her out because she knows where every single body is buried. But last year we did get the rumors that she would be leaving Disney Lucasfilm, but then that got leaked that it was going to happen at the end of last year. And what did she do? Just to buck the rumor and regain control of the narrative, she extended it to this year. So by the end of the year, most likely, KK will be out the door of her own free will. Not fired, leaving of her own free will. But, understand this. Nothing will change. Disney Star Wars is still shit. And it will be shit because new rumors have it that yes, Dave Filoni is in line along with Carrie Beck to be co-heads of Lucasfilm. Listen, cut off one head, two more pop up. This is a Hydra. You cannot kill this beast. It is infected down to its core. And I don't want to hear from any of you people out there, oh man, I wish Tony Gilroy was going to be in charge. Tony Gilroy is no better. He's an activist as much as the rest of them. He just coats it in fancy words and pretends not to give a shit. But he gives a shit because he gets his message across through his vehicles that he chooses. So I don't want to hear that shit. His shit is just as bad as Dave Filoni. It's just a little prettier and a little less offensive. But there's the thing, Dave Filoni, and I don't want to hear Dave Filoni worked with George Lucas in the Clone Wars. Clone Wars is shit. Was shit, always will be shit. Has a few tiny little bright spots in it, but that's it. You can pick out the pieces of food, the rest of it still needs to get flushed down the toilet because he is an uncreative jackass who has spent his entire time since essentially getting creative control in 2012 steering everything away from George Lucas Star Wars to make it Dave Filoni Star Wars, the Filoniverse, the Mandoverse, whatever the hell you want to call it. So here we have this report. Now let's go over to Hollywood Reporter because that's where this comes from. I noticed this article earlier today on the Daily Dive, 1 p.m. Eastern, every day on this channel. We noticed it there and we made fun of it, but we moved on, didn't cover it. But there apparently is a blurb in there. So let's read exactly what THR had to say about this situation. Lucasfilm seems likely to follow the path in replacing Kennedy. Despite speculation about outside candidates, including former 20th Century head Emma Watts, insiders say the company seems most likely to promote from within. The current thinking is a scenario where Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni and production head Carrie Beck, both Lucasfilm vets, take co-head roles. Even as an arm of Disney, Lucasfilm remains in many ways a family business, and as George Lucas's protege, No, screw you, you fake assholes. Filoni long has been considered the golden boy, but the knock against him is that he might be too steeped in Star Wars lore and risk steering a show into dense mythology that loses a broader audience. He's not the Andor guy, he's the Ahsoka guy, says one Disney insider. Beck, who joined the company in 2012, knows the ins and outs, but neither she nor Filoni has much film experience, which could mitigate by Kennedy's continued presence as a producer on certain Star Wars projects to ensure quality control in the short term. Let's unpack all of that. 1. Yes, Dave Filoni is Chief Creative Officer. He's in charge of everything. Nothing goes out without his approval, except apparently Andor, because Tony Gilroy had an in with Kathleen Kennedy, and she really wanted that put out there. But Dave Filoni does everything. It's all through his lens of how he wants to see Star Wars changed far, far away from George Lucas's vision. At the same time, you noted there he's not the Andor guy, he's the Ahsoka guy. There's a division, rumors have it. Rumors have it there's a division there, but I know there's a division when you go on social media and watch the Disney Star Wars stands. They're not fans, they're stands. Watching the stands, they are now in a true civil war because you have the elitist Andor crew who think they're the intelligent Star Wars fans now attacking the Dave Filoni stands who think, oh my God, I love all this stuff. Dave Filoni, Grogu, Ahsoka, Rebels. They think that they are the fans. So there is an actual stand civil war going on to say who's the true Disney Star Wars fan. Meanwhile, people like myself, real fans of real Star Wars, we just sit back, point, and laugh because you're fighting over scraps. You're fighting over nothing. There's barely any of you there to amount to any sort of true fandom. Point being, there's already a problem in Disney Star Wars. They're rebelling against Dave Filoni because even some stands realize that his is shit. Now, as I said, Tony Gilroy ain't much better, but Dave Filoni truly wants to change Star Wars. Tony Gilroy just wants to make a show based in there because he doesn't really care about Star Wars. He cares about his vision of things. That's the only difference. So when they say he's the Andor guy and not he's the Ahsoka guy, not the Andor guy, and we're worried too much mythology, that just shows you the mentality of the fake fan stand, the shill. The more Star Wars lore you create, the more real lore you get out there, the more interested people get. And if they don't understand that, if they think that Tony Gilroy is the answer, then you're never going to get anything good. Because he doesn't actually create anything, he just bastardizes. It's just a lesser version of what Filoni did. At the same time, yes, Filoni doesn't make movies, he makes television, and not very good television. Jon Favreau makes movies, but Jon Favreau is a mercenary. He's not your friend. He's going to do whatever he feels like. He doesn't really give a damn as long as he gets a paycheck and a little bit of control over things. And of course, the final line in that statement, Kathleen Kennedy will still be there for quality control and producing. She's not going anywhere. She herself said, I may be stepping down, but I'll still be there. So in the end, it doesn't matter who takes over Lucasfilm as long as it's an appendage of Disney. As long as people who Kathleen Kennedy has hired for the past decade are still there, it will be a poisoned pie. There is no saving it. It's got cancer in it. The only thing you can do is burn it to the ground and build it again. And that only happens if you cut it away from Disney. Star Wars will suck forever as long as it is a part of Disney. The only chance Star Wars will ever have to regain its former glory is if somebody buys it from Disney and then jettisons everything Disney Star Wars and picks up the EU and marches forward. That's the only way it's ever saved. And it could happen. It's a possibility because Disney Star Wars, Disney Lucasfilm, doesn't make Disney any money. Andor, both seasons cost $650 million, and there was no actual profit there. And Mandalorian Grogu, a minimum, will likely cost $250 million and will only make roughly probably $400 to $500 million next summer. It will be a failure. It will lose money. Disney Star Wars has never made money, will never make money. That is why it is a failure and has been rejected by everybody. For now, I'm going to be done with this. So thank you for watching this video. Hit the like button. Subscribe to me here on YouTube, where I hope to earn your trust and support using facts and logic, because facts and logic do not care by fake fan stan and SJW fifis. Thank you again for watching. Take it easy. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.